Hello all and welcome to Wow Crochet Designs. My name is Mary and in today's tutorial we are working on our final part of our Swatch Blanket of 2021. A gentle soft pause there. We are working on our swatch blanket today. It's our final part. We are doing the rest of the join and then we are doing this gorgeous border row. Now, it looks a tad complicated, but for the avid crocheter, they will know that this particular border row is a reverse single crochet. Now, I give you the option in the tutorial to actually do half double crochets up the top after we do our single crochet row. I do tell you when to do your half double crochet. So if you are new to crochet or this is all just so much for you and you think that the reverse stitch is just going to take too much out of you, then you are welcome to do the half double crochet stitch. All right, but for the rest of us who are excited and really want to do that stitch right there, oh my gosh, simply divine. It gives it a bit of a bubbled look, it lifts it up a little bit. It almost looks like we have doubled the yarn thickness when really we haven't. All right, just be wary when doing this particular stitch not to do it too tight and not to keep them too loose either, otherwise your threads will stick up a lot. Okay, that's that. So guess what today, guys, at the end of this tutorial you will be done. Your blanket will be complete. Get excited. In the meantime, the rest of the yarn that I used for the blanket, I used altogether 115 grams. Okay, all right, so there you go. Now that was a 200 gram skein. I used 115, roughly 115 to 120 grams. Okay, and we still used our 5mm hook. I do suggest, if you crochet very tightly for your last two rows, I think, or three, I can't remember, to change to a larger hook, just one size up. I do suggest it. But have a play and see, you might be okay. All right, you will definitely need your scissors to cut one thread, unless of course you need to change more yarn, but I only cut one. And you will need to weave in two ends. That's it, because all the other stuff is weaved in. I'm just so excited. If you're joining us new, guys, firstly, welcome. We have spent the whole year making these swatches. There's the photo right there. How gorgeous is that? There are 25 swatches all in all. And you haven't missed out. All of the tutorials will be in the playlist in a description box down below. The playlist is called the Swatch Blanket of 2021 playlist. Head down to the description box down below, click on that playlist, start from swatch 1, work your way up, get to this spot right here where this gorgeous, simply divine border row will be complete. There's actually 3 rows there, okay? You've got your single crochet and your chains, and then a single crochet and a couple of joins in the middle, and then you've got your reverse single crochet stitch. So guys, I know I said one row, I did one row of the border, but it just wasn't enough for me. It's just not enough. It's never enough. It just wasn't enough, and I think this gorgeous stitch right here has really completed the blanket. Once again, check out that picture. Seriously, guys, it has actually highlighted each swatch and made it look simply divine. And that's it. I'm not going to talk anymore, guys. I'm just far too excited to talk. I'm going to let you head off on your own and finish off your swatch blanket of 2021. Good luck, guys. Alrighty, guys, this is where you should all be right now, right around there. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to crochet along there, work down this side, right down to the very top there. There, let's try it again. Turn and add our next swatch and start again. But before we do, let's move all of this out the way for now and go ahead and do this part with me first, so you're super organized. All right, and even if this part doesn't work and they collapse, you can always go back and see this particular part of the tutorial. All right, now you have done these 2 rows, then we've turned and we've gone right up the top, and you're going to start with swatch number 6, which is your half double crochet. Don't worry about that for now. What I would like for you to do is this. If you are using the same swatches as us, grab swatch number 25, your alpine swatch. All right, so grab your piece. What's the right side, I hear you ask? Well, definitely this is the wrong side, right? But I just wanted to show you our starting row. Let's get a close-up of it. Our starting row looks like that, where the front looks like it's nice and the back kind of looks a little bubbly. The end row will be exactly, when you hold your work like this, you can see your little V's facing you, right? We want them to face that way. I'm sorry, face downwards. So open up your V's and your V's will be like, those little V's there will be going backwards, and your base row will look like that. Now, if you mess it up, it doesn't matter, all right? It just does not matter. There's no right or wrong way of doing this. All right, so don't stress too much. Your next swatch, I want you to grab swatch number 10, which is kittens in a row. Now, kittens in a row, you know for argument's sake that your kittens are looking at you, the faces are looking at you, so the faces are right. But which side is the right side, I hear you ask? Roughly, this is the side. If you get a close-up, all right. Let me move everything out the way so this part is easier for you. All right, because the starting chains were here, then that's the way I want you to pop your kittens in a row. I need my little paperwork to help me out here. And your next one is swatch 22, the waffle stitch. What's the right side? What's the wrong side? Let's flip it for a minute. That obviously is the right side because you want your waffles looking at you, but you want them to be up the right way as well. So carefully looking at underneath your work, okay? That's our last row, right? Let's get it close up. Let's move all this out the way so it doesn't confuse you. Oh, I still need it though. All right, so you know that's your last row because these are normal V's looking at you. If you were to face it this way, these are the chains, the chain row that we started with, so you don't want that row. You want the V's facing you right up the top like that. All right, and the next swatch is Easy Granny Striped, swatch number 18. I couldn't find it. What's the right side, I hear you ask? Well, the right side for starters, that's our chain row, so that goes on the bottom part, right? And the right side is, again, you're looking at your V's, and the V's are, little V's there, are facing you. That is the right side of your work. None of this really matters unless you're doing the waffle stitch and or your alpine, okay? The rest, because they go backward and forward, you can accidentally have it the wrong way and it won't be noticeable. But we're just trying to make it look better, yeah? All right, then our next one is swatch number 1, which is the plain double crochet piece. What's the right side, I hear you ask? Well, let's turn it over and have a look. That's upside down for starters. How you can tell, once again, your V's are facing you. Underneath here, these are the chain rows. That's the chain row, the first row we started off with, okay? And your next swatch is the swatch 11 moss stitch swatch. Again, you want your V's facing you, which are these ones here. That's our last row. And you want the part where we started with the chains on the bottom. Yep. Next is swatch 20, the puff stitch. And once again, I've got them all upside down over there, which is, really confusing me a little bit. There you go. All right, so there's your starting chain row, and that is your final row, and your V's are facing you. Next one is swatch 2, the filet crochet. Now the filet crochet once again has a base row of chains, and your top one is facing you. Those little V's you see are facing you. Your next one is your bobble stitch. There we go. Oh, you know which way this goes. That's super easy because it's your heart. Too easy, that one. And your next one, oh, by the way, that's swatch number 21. And your next swatch is swatch 17, which is your easy checkered plaid stitch. And we want the base row. Oh, we don't know because we've done a row of double single crochet around it. So give me 1 second to work this out. That's the way, okay? you can get away with, that's got to be the right side. For starters, this is the right side because your V's are facing you anyway. So that's the right side. If you put it the other way, your stitches are upside down. Okay, how you can tell where your stitches are, that is the bottom of your stitch and that's the top, so that's the right side. Your next one is the seed stitch, and that's swatch number 24. Okay, and that is like, I'm going to see which way the right way is. No, that was right in the first place. That's your base chain row. That is your little V's facing you. We're getting there. We're almost there, guys. Bear with me. Your next one is swatch 9, the solid granny. Once again, this is no-brainer, yeah? This is the front of your work, and we just went around and round and round and round for this. So any way is the right way for that. Oh, sorry, guys. That was swatch 9, by the way. I'm rushing this. Swatch 12 is the log cabin stitch. Now, look, this is entirely up to you how you want it. Okay, there's no real right or wrong way to put it. Just note that, see this part here? You can kind of, let me get a close up, you can kind of see like we went over here and it's kind of visual. Well, we don't want that to be visual. We want to have a nice, neat edge look, if that makes any sense at all. Yeah, that's that one. And your next one is swatch number 14. It's C2C traditional corner to corner. Yep. You can either have it that way or that way. It doesn't matter. All right. It really, truly doesn't matter with that one because you've gone over and over and over and over and over. So it doesn't really matter. And finally, the very next swatch, it'll be the very next swatch you'll actually be working with. That's swatch number 6, which is your half double crochet row. Okay. Half double crochet row, half double crochet swatch. Now, the top is V's facing you and the bottom's kind of turned under a little bit. If you're worried, turn it the other way. Have a look. Do you like that way? I don't know. Again, let's save some hair for later. And again, we're not really worried which way we have our half doubles. Let's see which one looks better. Oh, actually, I think the other way looks better. It doesn't really matter. Really, it doesn't. It does not matter. But there you go. All right. Your swatches are now in order and ready to pick one up and work with for the next one. Now that's okay, but if you accidentally drop all these and you don't want to rewatch that whole video again, follow this little picture. Let me get a close-up for you. There's your half double, your very next swatch, which is there, yeah? And that's exactly what we just did. All right, you're going to start from there, work your way down, go to there, work your way down, go to there, work your way down. Now, if that confuses you, there's so many ways that you can do this. All right, take screenshots. Let's go through them this way if you like. This is your half double. There's swatch 14, 12, 9, 24. Go up the top. 17, 21, 2, 20, 11 up the top. 1, 18, I scribbled that, 22, 10, and swatch 25. All right, you've got them now. That's the hard part. Oh no, that's the easy part. That's just the long part. Move all this out the way. Let's start with our piece where we ended off in part 1. In part 1, I suggested for you to get to that end of your piece, right? You did your last swatch, which was right there. And I have to tell you, the swatch I found the most trickiest through this whole piece, there was 2 of them. Actually, they're both together, these 2. I had a lot of trouble marrying them up. This one here, I married up and made a mistake, put 9 and then 10 on one side. It happens. So just, take your time, guys. Don't rush it like Mary. Don't do a Mary. Don't do a Mary. All right. So what are we going to do here? I asked you to get to, I'm going to take this undone because that was just there for my benefits. My benefit, I should say. All right. So what I asked you to do, and I've just split the yarn. Good on you, man. Let's get a close-up. When you did your very last, let's take that undone completely. Oh, it got too far. Dearie me. I had one job. I chained my 2. I jumped into the corner. Oh dear. Well, at least you know what you're doing now. Change 1, 2, jump in the corner, take out your stitch marker, chain 1, lift up your hook, go into that corner, pull that loop through, chain 1 and 2, back into your orange corner with a single crochet. Chain 1, 2 and 3, and start your row like normal. Now before you do, a quick heads up to let you know, so you know what we're doing. This side here will have a complete row, all right? When you get down to your final swatch on each piece, you will have that complete row. When I say complete row, it's like a border row, yeah? Then, when you come back up this way, along here, there will be no complete edge. You're just turning. Don't stress too much. After each row, I will ask you to meet me down the end of the row and we will adjust as we go along, okay? So, let's keep going, all right? For this part here, what I want you to do is continue doing that row, get to the corner, your corner right there. I'm not going to let you watch me do this. Get to your corner and I will meet you there in a moment. Alrighty guys, here we are in the corner and you're just going to pop a normal single crochet in the corner. Take out that stitch marker. You've done this before, but I'm going to show you again. Chain 1, 2 and 3. Single back in the same corner. All right, so you did this with this row right here. So with this row here that you did here, you're going to do exactly the same here. So what I'm going to do is just pop this section here on fast for you. Oh, by the way, this one here kind of married up with one extra stitch in there. So yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. The other side married up, so I don't know, maybe it's because of the solid stitch. I'm not sure what I did there, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Chain, whoops, 1, 2, 3. You can pop your stitch markers if you like. I think I know where I'm going. 1, 2 and 3. All the way across, and I'm going to pop this on fast for you. Off we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2 and 3. And 1, 2 and 3. I'm going to stop here for a minute because I just want to check. I haven't counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to jump straight into, oh, here we go. Too far away. Jumping straight into the corner, like so, with a single crochet. Now remember what we did here? We went chain 1 and 2. And in that space right there, we're going to slip stitch. Like so. Chain 2, 1 and 2. And jumping straight into the next corner with a single crochet. Chain 1, 2, 3. Jumping over, finding your third spot. I'm going to change this later because I need to marry it up with the next side. But that's what I want you to do for this row. Easy, easy. You're going to do that all the way across this whole row, yeah? And get to the very, very tippy top right there. Tippy top, you like that? Tip top. Right there, tip top corner. And we're not going across this way this time. We're not going to go across. Just get to that corner there and I'll show you what you're going to do next. Alrighty guys, here we go. All the way along there. Grab your hook and let's finish off this section right here. Alright, so you're going to single crochet. I might have to find another stitch there, not a space, but an actual stitch. Single crochet in the top of the corner stitch, like that. Yes, chain 1. Alright, now on this, the bottom part of the work, we went across this way, turned, and then came all the way down here. The top part of your work, you don't do that. you turn. All right, grab your next square. Now that's the bottom part of our square, that's the top part. But because this is the top end of our work, place the top part of your square right next to it. Swatch, if you will. Keep saying it's a square, it's actually a square and a swatch. And then all you're doing, and this is really hard to see purple here, guys, sorry about that, but we'll see how we go. You're just finding a top stitch in there, like so, and doing a normal single crochet in there. Chain 1, lift up your loop, go into your chain 3 space and pull that loop through, chain 1 and 2, and let's just pretend that that's the next section we need to go in. You need to pop your stitch markers in. All right, so guess what you're going to do now. So what I want you to do is to get to the top, get your 5 swatches ready, or one, or like we've done here with this one right here, we've got them all ready, and just take the top one off and work with them, right? Get them ready and work your way down. Now remember, when you get down to the bottom here, you are single crocheting, slip stitching in there, and then coming around and working across your bottom row, and then coming back down and doing this right here. And then I want you to pop a stitch marker up there, and once you've done your next 5 swatches, I want you to meet me right there. Okay, so your next 5 swatches are 1, let's bring that out a bit, we are out, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so go ahead and do all of this side. Get down here, turn, come around, do along there, oops, I can't move it, guys, it's so big now, and along there. Once you get to that purple one right there, get to that stitch marker there, and I will meet you up once you're done. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end. Now I have to say, this row, oh my gosh, this was a very difficult row. None of our swatches that we attached made any sense together. I want you to think I'm perfect, but I'm not, guys, because I really struggled with this row, okay? But where you should be, let's forget about me, where you should be, you should have gone all the way down here, did your turn, crocheted along the side there all the way up until you got to that stitch marker right there. All right, so let's take that stitch marker out for now. In actual fact, let's look at our next swatch, and the next swatch is swatch number 17, the plaid stitch swatch. Let's hope that one's not not too much of a drama. Let's hope. All right, so you got to your end of your row. What you needed to do, and let me show you nice and closely. There you go. All right, let's do that last stitch again so you know what I'm doing here. You're doing a single crochet in there, like so. Chain 1. Right, we're going to attach our next swatch. Now remember, I'll just turn it around. Our next swatch is the plaid swatch, so the base of your stitches need to go downwards. So face your swatch that way, with the top of your stitch there and the base downward. Making sure you're on the right side of your work, which is where you can see the V's, that little single crochet row right there. Okay, oh, we did a single crochet row. That will be easier to get into. I'm so excited. Turn the work and pop your, gotta find a corner somewhere. Trying to find that, oh, there it is, right there, right there. There's a little spot right there. It's like a little chain, if you will, okay? And you're doing, oh, it's so far away, I'm so sorry. Let me take that out and show you again. There's your 2 single crochets in that spot. And right in there, in between, it's a little chain space. You've got to make sure you don't get into the single crochet stitch. There it is, right there. Like that. Do your single crochet, chain 1, lift up your loop. Now this is the awkward part, guys. Turn your whole blanket over. That's where it's going to start getting a little awkward. Okay, turn it over. Pop into the chain 3 space there. Grab your loop, pull it through, chain 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, and I'm guessing 3, but I think we might have to change that, but we'll see. And do your single crochet. Now I'm going to change it and have a look anyways, so don't stress. Now just quickly, we're going to face our blanket to you so you know what you've done. And that's what you've done right there. That's the right way of looking at your blanket. That's going downwards now. All right, so your job is to attach that one, but before you do, grab a stitch marker and place it. I'm going to find this corner right here. This one's not too bad, you can see it. Place it in the top corner. There's your swatch there. That's the start where you're starting. Place it in the top space, corner space of the opposite side there. So you've got it right there. That's where you want your stitch marker. You are now going to go down, around, attach your next square or swatch, which I'll tell you in a minute what that is. No, I won't. I'll just pop it there. There you go. Attach your bobble stitch. I nearly said popcorn. Attach your bobble stitch swatch, and your next one, keep going, and see where I'm placing it, right next to which swatch I'm placing it with. Your next one is your fillet swatch, and I popped that on wrong, didn't I? Yes. Your next one is your puff stitch swatch. Keep going. And that's going to be tricky, I can tell already. And your next one is your moss stitch swatch. All right. So that's what you do in this row. You go all the way down to get to the base, do your turn here, come all the way back down. I'm dropping mine on the floor, can you believe this? Get to the top end here, and right in that corner there, I will meet you there once you are done. Go ahead and do your swatches, and I'll meet you there in a moment. Yay guys, get excited. Guess what? We finished the second last row, which means we have our last set of swatches to go. Wow, get excited. But in the meantime, let's get our corner work done. Okay. I'll take this undone and do it again for you, so you know what you're doing. All right, so when you get to, you do know what you're doing, so I don't even know why I'm showing you, but I will anyway. When you get to your corner, you do your single crochet in your corner, making sure your chain 3 is there first. Chain 1, get ready to turn, take out that stitch marker, like so, grabbing your very next swatch, which is, oops, oh, I haven't even got it in frame. It is the swatch number 1, double crochet swatch. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Let's grab it. Now, let's get the right side. Firstly, I keep putting mine upside down. When I pick them up and put them upside down. All right. So we've got our swatch. We will sort out our measurements off air, but for now, let's just attach this one. All right, so we're turning our work to the side like normal. Actually, I find the blanket is really big now, so I've got to play with it, guys. Just bear with me while I throw it over there. It's really big. All right, so what you're doing here is you are jumping straight into the top of your last stitch on that swatch there, or your first stitch on that row, whichever. Chain 1, slip stitch in there with a chain 2, you know this part, and then you're going to find your first, your 3 across or whatever. I'm just going to pop this loop up and leave it there and bring this all back down again. I thought I was smart putting it up. But no, I'm not. I'm not that smart. All right, so that's what you have done so far. Oh, get excited. I'm rushing now because I want you to just do it. Just go ahead and do it. All right, so what are you going to do in this side right here? You are going to pop on your, let's get our little book here. The next one is our Granny Swatch 18, Easy Granny Stripe. The next one will be our Waffle, swatch 22. The next one will be swatch 10, kittens in a row. And the next one will be our final swatch, the Alpine stitch. And in actual fact, that's our final swatch from all our swatches as well. So there you go. All right, so that's pretty much what you have to do. Get too excited, because this means we are almost finished. Hence the word almost. All right, so now your job is to continue along the way, go all the way down, do your swatches, all the 5 swatches, then come back, and in that stitch marker right there, get excited, because we are going to add our final row of closing, and then we'll talk about a border row or 2 border rows at that matter. But anyway, we'll talk about that when we return. Okay, go ahead and do your swatches, and I'll meet you back here once you're done. Ta-da! Very, very, very exciting. That was our last swatch. Oh my gosh, that was our last swatch. Now what we're going to do is start working along here. Now you can already see that I replaced some stitch markers here. It's just to show you what we need to do, but it's very basic, very, very basic, and you probably will know exactly what you're doing here anyways, but I'm going to show you nonetheless. All right, so this was your last chain 3. Yes, you're going to pop into that corner with a normal single crochet, chain 1, 2, and don't lose a stitch, 3, and a single in the same stitch, taking out your stitch marker, like that. Then you chain 1, 2, 3, jump into your first stitch marker. Now if you haven't put them in now, and meet us back here in a second with a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, into your next one with a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, and so on. All right, I'm going to pop this on fast for you just until we get to that very first corner. All right, and off we go. In that, here we go, I've gone too far out, haven't I? Single in your second last stitch there, or the second last stitch marker I should say, and you're doing your normal chain 3, 1, 2, 3, just to get into your first corner like normal. So take out your corner stitch marker like normal. You are doing your normal single crochet, and then you are chaining 1 and 2, because this is where our join is. We're going to pop our hook in, pull a loop through, and pull it through to the loop on our hook. All right, so we are doing a normal slip stitch in there. All right, so you're in the corner, chain 1 and 2, and now we are slip stitching directly into that space, chain space, pull the loop through, chain 1 and 2, and single into your corner of your next swatch. Now you know this because you've done this along the sides here. That's it, guys. 1, 2, 3. That's it for now. There's still another row. Oops, another row or another 2 rows to go, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. 1, 2, 3. Hence the word maybe, 1 or 2 rows. All right, so I don't think I need to show you anymore. Yeah. Oh, where's my stitch? 1, 2, 3. Hello. I don't think I need to show you anymore. What I want from you to right now, what you have to do, is continue along this side all the way down to the next corner. And guess what? That's your very last side that you're doing, because we already... Oh, it's so big, the blanket. We already went down this way. Remember, we kept turning around and turning around. So you really only have this one side to do. Yay! So continue along your side. get to your final stitch marker and get ready to decide whether you want to do one more row or 2 more rows, okay? And we'll talk about that once you return, okay? Go ahead and do that now and I'll meet you here in a moment. Ta-da! Here we are at the end of this side. Very, very exciting. And look how much we still have plenty of yarn left. I don't even think it made 50, 80 grams. I don't even think so, seriously. But there you go. It doesn't matter because we're here. All right, so here we go. There are many things you can do now. First thing you need to do is chain 1, 2, and 3, and then we're going to slip stitch directly into the first stitch we did. Pull the loop. Oh, of course it's going to split right now. Pull that loop through, and there you go. Now, before you continue, you're going to slip stitch. Get out of that stitch marker for starters. You're going to slip stitch into the corner. All right, now I'll just show you where that is. You've slip stitched into the stitch. You're going to go directly into the corner, pull a loop through, and pull it through to the loop on your hook. And then you're going to chain 1, and in the same space you're going to do a single crochet 1, single crochet, oops, no you're not, you're going to put a stitch marker in, sorry, pop a stitch marker in that first stitch, single crochet 2, and single crochet 3, like so. Then you are going to skip that single crochet and do 2 single crochets in that space. But before you do, I just want to explain something to you. We are now going to do a single crochet in the round. Once we reach back here, we're going to slip stitch to join. And then we'll talk about doing another row. Now the reason is, this row is going to be what I call a base row for your border. And that is keeping all this in place, okay? In every join as you go, or every join blanket I do, I always make a base row to keep this together, to keep it solid, okay? Over here, you've got it all locked into place. That's going to stay solid. This is not locked. This is just sitting there, yeah? It's hard to explain, but we are doing 1 row of single crochet across for now. All right, so when I say 1 row of single crochet, all I would like for you to do is to put 2 single crochets in every space, okay? In every space. Single in your first, and that's 2 singles in your first, 2 singles in your next, 2 singles in your next. And you're just going over the stitch. You're not doing anything fancy. Just keep going. 2 singles all the way across. You don't need stitch markers for this apart from that very first one, which is too exciting, far too exciting. Yeah, a single all the way across. All right, but what I want you to do is stop there and have a quick look at it. Gorgeous. Now, you are going to go just along this one side, not around the whole blanket. Just go, oh no you're not. I've got to show you what you have to do here first. What a duffer. What a duffer. All right, let's do that again. Let's try that again. 2 singles there, 2 in your next, 1 and 2, and 2 in your next, 1 and 2, 2 in your next, 1 and 2, and when you get to your last area right here, you need to jump into that corner space. Remember we did 2 chains there and 2 chains there? Yeah, and a slip stitch in the middle. In that first corner, you're going to put 1 single crochet. And for these 2 together, we're going to do a single crochet 2 together. All right, now that is like this. You pop your hook in the space, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, go into the next space of the next square. In the space, pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now you have made those 2 corners into 1 stitch. That's 2 together, all right? And then you're going to pop another single crochet in that same space right there. So in actual fact, you've done literally 2 single crochets. It actually is 3, but it's classified as 2. It's locking it all into place, keeping it nice and taut for us to work with later. All right, jumping straight into your next space, 2 single crochets all the way across the side. All right, so I'm not going to let you head off yet. We're going to do one more corner together. I'm just going to do this really fast. See how we can do 2 single crochets really fast without messing it up, she says, before she starts to mess it up. Do you think I'll mess it up? Maybe. 2 single crochets all the way across your side. Here we go, getting there. A couple of more spaces left. All right, sorry about the speed, guys, but I just want you to go on your own and do the rest without me. You're gonna make me cry all by myself here. All right. Sorry, guys, I get so sidetracked. All right, so there is your corners again right here. Yeah, so you're going to go into the first corner with 1 single crochet, and now you're going to do 2 together, 1 in there and 1 in there. So pop your hook in, pull a loop through, 2 loops on your hook, into your next one, pull a loop through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops, and then a single crochet in the same corner like that. All right, and now 2 single crochets in each space across. Oh, this is just super easy now, isn't it? All right, I don't think I need to show you anymore. I think you know what you're doing. You're 2 single crocheting all the way across. When you get to your corner, you're doing your 1 in there, 2 together, and 1 in there, and continue. But get to the very first corner. All right, don't turn the corner, just get to that corner right there. So you're just doing one side only. Get to that corner, and I'll meet you there in a moment. Alrighty guys, here we are at the end of the side right now, making sure you did your 2 together in here. Yeah, I forgot to mention earlier, guys, my mistake too, I forgot to mention being careful not to do these stitches too tight. Now if you are a tight crocheter, I would suggest going up a hook size to a 5.5 for this row and for the next row, because this will tend to tighten a little bit. Okay, now I didn't go up, I probably should have, but we'll see how we go. I'm trying to keep my stitches as loose as I can, but if you don't keep them loose, that will tighten up and your blanket will curl in. All right, so here we are at the end of the row. Let's get a nice close up, and what you have there is your corner. Yeah, you're going to hop into that corner with 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets, and a 3rd one. In every corner you are popping 3 single crochets. Then you are turning your work like that, and you are popping 2 single crochets in every space across, like you did with your other side. All right, it's so basic that now you can actually complete the whole side and the other 2 sides as well. When you have done all your sides and you come right back to that stitch marker, just put your last 2 single crochets in that space and meet me there and get ready for our final row. Yay, get excited. Go ahead and finish off your row, doing exactly the same all the way through here, and remembering to put in 3 single crochets in your corner. All right, and I will meet you back here once you're done. How'd you go, guys? Didn't take too long, not really, but this row will. All right, let me just finish off our row first. I've put my last 2 single crochets in that chain 3 space. Now remember, we put 3 single crochets in this corner already. All we're going to do is slip stitch into that single crochet, chain 1, pull up a loop. Now let's remove that stitch marker for now. Let's talk about what are your options. Okay, now if you are a new crocheter, an avid crocheter, your first option would be not to do this next row. However, I would take a risk because why not? Why not, yay? The next row, you could either do two things. New crocheters, you can do a row of half double crochets in the round, and right in your corner you can do 3 half doubles or 2 half doubles just to make that corner not point so much, because it's starting to point already, yeah? And I'll tell you how to do that in a minute. For us avid crocheters or crocheters who want to take a risk with their crochet, let's try something new. Now, it's not new for me, and I have done it here as a tutorial once before, but it's called the reverse single crochet. All right, and people are thinking, oh no, not that one. It goes totally against the way crocheters work. Now I'm going to show you how to do that, and then you can decide in yourself whether or not you want to do that or whether you just want to do a row of half doubles. Firstly, let's do the row of half doubles so I can show you how to do it. In that same stitch, you can just put a half double in there like that. All right, pop your stitch marker in. This is only if you're not doing the reverse single crochet. All right, in the very next stitch, pop 1 half double, 2 half doubles, and 3 half doubles, all in the same stitch, and that's just going to form your corner. All right, and then you are just popping half doubles all the way around your work. Let's pretend like we're gone all the way over here, and I'll show you how to do your half doubles along this section here that we did. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Let's just pretend. All right, so there's your section where we did our 2 together, but you can't tell. All you need to do is follow those little V's, and you're popping your half double in every V across your row, and that will not affect your join 2 together. All right, that's all that is. You're just doing your half doubles across. Now, for the rest of us, get too excited. We are going to attempt this reverse single crochet. Now, before we go, guys, those of you doing the half doubles, half double all the way across, 3 half doubles in each corner. Now, yours truly, just for the sake of the half doubles, I'm going to pop a stitch marker in every corner so the half doubles can get it. All right, so this is one corner right there, and you can see your 3 single crochets in that corner. Just pop your stitch marker in that top single crochet. You can see it, it's sticking up the top. It's the only one that's pointing upwards. And do the same with every corner, because this is good for those doing the reverse single crochet as well. All right, so grabbing your stitch marker and popping it in the corner stitch of your single crochets, a very, very top corner right there. And if it's not exactly in the corner, I don't think it really makes a difference. It's just a slight, you could like bend a little bit. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scream in the camera there. 1, 2, and 3, so we're going to pop it right in there. Yeah. Oh, I'm running out of space on this table. I think we've done 1, 2, 3. Yes, we have. And there's your 4th one over here. And your 4th one will be once we do our corner here. In fact, I think we should put it in the 4th one already, which is just any stitch marker right there, because this is your first single crochet in the corner we've slip stitched into. That is your actual corner stitch. All right. So for the reverse single crochet people, are you ready? Take your time with this, yeah? It works backwards, okay? Again, if you can't do this, by all means, go ahead and do your half doubles, yeah? All right, so we are going to do what they call a reverse single crochet. It's a single crochet backwards, that's all it is. Now, you are in that stitch there, and you want to jump straight into the one next to it. Not the slip stitch, but into that one right there. Go straight into, notice how I'm holding the thread with my thumb. Go straight into that back stitch. It's actually the last stitch you did, yeah? Go straight into that stitch, pull the loop through. You should have that, yeah? Do a normal single crochet, then go right back into the next stitch. Before you do, just pop a stitch marker in that stitch there. In actual fact, we'll just pop it in there. That just shows you that's your first stitch that you did backwards, all right? Because when we come back, we're going to take our thread out and work back to front again, just to slip stitch, that is, not for another row. We're only doing, this is our last row, guys, so get excited. It's a tricky row, but again, if you're not sure, half doubles are fine. Holding your thread, going right into the very next stitch there, backwards, pull that loop through, 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2. Hold your thread into the next stitch, pull the loop through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Now it pays to do this stitch loosely. Don't do it too loose or you're going to end up with, like, you know, threads hanging everywhere. But don't pull real tightly because that's not going to work well for your border row, okay? So we're going, holding that thread into the next stitch, pull a loop through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. I'll get a close up even so you can have another look. Holding your thread into the back stitch, the last stitch, pull a loop through, 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. How gorgeous does it look? What? It's fantastic. I love it. I love this border so much. And you keep going. I get too excited, don't I, guys? I'm really sorry. It's like, you know, I just do get excited. I can't help myself. Anything crochet related. All right, so you know what you're doing, yeah? If you're not sure, just keep rewatching this part. All right, oops, this part. And I will see you when you get all the way to the very first corner, which is right there. Now remember, we're working backwards, yeah? So get to your first corner. I'm gonna have another look at that stitch. Is that it is a stitch. Get to your first corner and I'll meet you there in just a moment. Alrighty guys, how gorgeous is this? I love it so much. All right, now just bear with me because the blanket keeps falling off the table. What I need is a bigger table. All right, so this is our very first corner and I have 2 stitches left before the corner. So I'm going to do my 2 stitches, one in there and one in the second last stitch, just before the corner, yeah? Oops. Now in the corner, you're actually going to put a normal stitch in that corner, like so, right? Then you are going to take your stitch marker out. Now normally you would turn around and do a normal stitch into the very next one, but that will pull at your corner. So all I do is do a chain 1 and 2, and then I jump right into the next single crochet and do my reverse stitch, and then keep going all the way along the side like that. And I'll just show you quickly so you can see what it has done. And all it's done is literally making sure that it's not tugging in the corner. All right, it's not pulling at the corner at all. Hasn't really, you can't really tell that you've done a chain 2, but it's not pulling at the corner. All right, so what I would like for you to do now, guys, is to keep going all the way around, and then get right back to our stitch marker stitch right here. Actually get to the last corner and I'll tell you what you need to do there before we do our last stitch. All right, so go all the way around, get to your very last corner, and I'll meet you there once you're done. Ta-da! Oh, look at the hands go. I'm very excited. This is it, guys. This is it. 1 year in the making is it. We have to make another one now. No. Oh my gosh, see how naughty I am? All right, so here we are at the end of the row. I have the corner stitch there and I have the first reverse stitch that we did. I do have a stitch before the corner which I haven't completed, so I'm going to do that reverse stitch in there like so. And we're going to take out our corner stitch marker, if it holds still for me. All right, so now we have our corner stitch. We're going to do a normal reverse stitch in the corner stitch. We're going to chain 1 and 2. Now the next thing you do is to do another reverse stitch right in the same, it's actually the same stitch that you're in. So pop your hook in the same stitch, pull a loop through and pull the loop through like so, but just pull it all the way up. All right, and what you're going to do, make sure your whole row is complete and correct before doing this part, because that's it. You're thinking that doesn't look right at all. No, it's not. We are now going to weave that into there. All right, so I'll show you that nice and close. For those of you doing the half double crochets, just slip stitch to your first half double crochet and then weave in your end like us. For the rest of us, just give that tail a big tug like that. Not too much, because otherwise it'll pucker and do all sorts of weird things, yeah? So now you just grab at your thread. Now this is going through the back of your work, not the side that we're working on. You grab this little thread, yes, and you're going down the stitch from the back. All right, not the front where I just put the needle. Don't go there. Don't go in there, because then it'll be noticed. We're going through the back. All right, so it's going down the back of the stitch, so you can't see the needle from the front. And just pull that thread through like so. From the back it looks weird, but from the front it looks just like a normal stitch. So what you're going to do here is give it a tug, and give it a real tug, yeah? Then you're just going to weave it in as though you're weaving in a normal end, but you're going to weave it through your reverse stitches, because you've got another thread down here that you need to weave in as well. So let's just go right through those reverse stitches before you do. Oh, I can see the needle, which means that's no good. It's going to be visual. You don't want that to be seen, so take that out. That's why it's always good to check. Let's have a look. Ta-da! No needle. And just pop that through. Like so, yeah? But then you're going to go back in the same direction, or sorry, the other direction that you were in, or the same direction that you were going through, and you're just going to make sure it's in a different thread, obviously, because you don't want to unravel what you did. And then also make sure that you can't see the needle from the front, and you can't just, oh, don't lose your thread yet, we're not ready to lose it, because this is a blanket and you don't want this coming undone, so you're going to do it yet again. What? And look how far I'm going. I'm not doing a little bit, I'm going really, really deep, right in all the way through to another area. Making sure you can't see the needle. And there is no way this little guy is coming undone. No way. And there you go. What? What, they say? What? Don't forget you have to weave that last end in. I'm going to pretend that I've done it. By the way, you just need to weave it in under here. Or actually, I would go up and then weave it in under your single crochet row. But it's up to you, you know. If you have another way of weaving that in, it doesn't matter. Because guess what, guys? We're done. What? Yay! Check this out. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. I feel so overwhelmed and excited that we spent one whole year creating these swatches, and now it's complete. Our blanket is put together. It looks simply divine, as you saw in the promo. Now, again, if you did the half double crochet, it will give it a solid join. If you give it the little reverse stitch, it'll give it that gorgeous little lift and a little bit of a bubbled look, which is what I was going for. I didn't want to overdo a border, but I still didn't want to make it too boring. So I thought, let's try a little bit of fun and do the reverse stitch. If you struggled with the reverse stitch and you don't like it, take it undone and do a half double crochet row. Otherwise, check it out. Thank you so much for joining us for this swatch blanket, guys. Don't forget to join us on our lives to see what other exciting things are coming. And next year, it's going to be big. It's always big. It just gets bigger and bigger, doesn't it? Thank you for joining us. Our lives are 4 p.m. Wednesday afternoons and 10 a.m. Saturday morning, Melbourne, Australia time, that is. And don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And you can probably tell by the way I'm speaking, there's a massive smile on my face. Thank you for joining us. And all I can say right now is I love my Swatch Blanket of 2021. Ciao for now.